Shalom, this is Avraham Shira from Eretz Israel. Welcome to Erev Shabbat Talk. Behind me you see one of my wife's beautiful paintings. I call it the Hourglass of Reincarnation. And this little talk is called Count on the Second Chance God. God is full of second chances. There is no such thing as one chance only. And if you look at the Torah, if you look at the Jewish people, if you look at your own life, you'll see that our lives are filled with chance after chance after chance to succeed, to make it happen, to do what we got to do. You see, in the beginning of creation, the Kabbalah, the Arizal teaches us that God himself created all these worlds, and they exploded. The original Shvirat HaKelim, it's called, the original breaking of the vessels, he created all these realms of energy that could not share with each other, and they broke. They broke into pieces. And then they had to be reinstated and restored in three different lines, three different parallels, right and left and center, which in a spaceless, dimensionless plane, what does that mean, right, left, and center? But we're not going to try to go that deep today. But understand that God himself gave himself a second chance. He created the worlds and they broke. They couldn't hold his light. And so they broke, and then they were restored as three columns, which we know today as part of the main essence of the tree of life. But let's look further. We have this idea of Adam and Eve. They ate from this duality consciousness. Then they lost the garden. So God said, no, come back, rework the land, and I'll give you the garden back. And then Cain and Abel. Brother killed brother. And Cain had the death penalty on his head. God said, no, you're going to wander, but you get another chance to live again and to rebuild yourself. And he did. We have all kinds of concepts in Judaism facing us. We have Pesach Sheni, the people who were coming from outside the land to celebrate Passover in Jerusalem, and they couldn't make it because, back in the day, if your camel was tired, there was no convenience store for the camel. And people didn't make it to Jerusalem, so God had a second Passover. And you know what? Nowadays, if I look around in my practice in therapy, thousands of people say that their second marriage is their better marriage. That the first time around just didn't quite get it. Because I didn't learn yet. I didn't know enough yet. I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the discipline. Whatever I was lacking, God didn't give up on us. He never gives up on us. And the truth is that it's not a second chance God. It's 2 chances, 20 chances, 2,000 chances. The book of reincarnation tells us that the greatest mercy that God has is that he lets us go back again and again, up to 1,000 times. We can come back into this world into different bodies, different identities, different roles, different tikkunim, as they're called, repairs. Different countries, different languages, different skin color. All that stuff changes when you leave this world and you leave this material, temporal body. And we come back and get a chance, one after another, as long as we want the right things, we want the good things, then Hashem is going to give us another chance. And, if you don't believe that, then what good is God? The old-fashioned version, God is this stern, vengeful being. Who wants to serve that creature? Who wants to be part of his world? Nobody. But religion was twisted by man in order to create fear. Because fear, we know what fear does. Fear makes people reach in their pockets. Fear makes people listen to people they wouldn't normally listen to. Fear cancels out our ability to think clearly. So they took a beautiful religion and it was morphed and twisted into many other religions and many other ideas that were not the original. And they didn't carry that original idea of mercy, the second chance, the third chance, etc., etc. And that's where reincarnation is. And I know when I got to Judaism, I was a secular guy for 29 years. And then I said, well, do we believe in reincarnation? And no. And immediately, it says here in the books that we do believe in reincarnation. So that you see, the Jews themselves didn't even know their own books. A lot of them. Because if you don't believe in reincarnation, you don't believe in the second chance. Now, how it looks and how it happens, there's a whole lot written about it. There's a lot of laws and customs and traditions that you have to spend time inside the books to get all those down. But the basic faith in the idea is what gives us the strength to carry on. To know it doesn't matter if I make it or not, I'm going to get another chance and another chance. So it relieves the tension, the angst, the fear of failure. That's what we need to erase here. Because there's no failure as long as we're making an effort. Now, not making an effort, that's a different problem. That's also a type, there is always hope for making an effort again. And so, I think this is really important in my life. I feel like I've been given about 20,000 chances to come back and come back and come back. And I'm still banking on that, And as long as I'm in my body and I'm in this world, we have a chance. And Shabbat, well, look at Shabbat. Shabbat is a chance to taste the world to come in a tiny little spark of it. Right? And Shabbat is a chance to take a break from this world of stress and aggression and all the things that we're facing every day. But let's say we break Shabbat. You turn on the switch. By mistake, you get a crease, what they call in Hebrew. You get a sudden obsession to light a cigarette. Or whatever your thing is. Okay. So then what happens when you do it? Then what? I quit? I give up Shabbat? I give up my only day of rest because I couldn't hold to the certain level established by rabbis long ago? No. I give myself another chance. I can still keep Shabbat after the cigarette. I can keep Shabbat after something else happens that I didn't. It doesn't matter. See, because we're not infinite, so we don't know how to make an infinite a calculation. We don't know how to really see the bigger picture the way our Creator sees the picture. So we got to give ourselves another chance and another chance. And if Shabbat is too hard this way, let's work it. Talk to somebody. Call me. Write me. AvrahamShira.com or Facebook or YouTube, whatever it is. Because there's always a way to come back to Hashem, to come back to the beauty of this religion, to take this religion out of exile. See, because the Jewish people aren't the only ones that have been in exile. The whole religion has been in exile from itself. From the idea of who God is has been twisted and distorted by thousands of years of running around, being chased around this planet. Let's put it like it is. But when we restore our understanding of who God is, a kind, merciful, patient being who just loves us because if you could create a human being, you would love it too. And you do. If you're a mother, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're a father, maybe you'll be lucky enough to open up your feminine side enough to know what it is to really love your children and to be a creator of children. Because that's what our Creator is. So we really need to give ourselves another chance and another chance and another chance and not come down too hard. And always believe, as long as we're here, we have a chance. Now, when we start asking difficult questions, well, sometimes we need to talk to the right people to get the help to clarify, or to have someone who understands you, that loves you, that can hear you even. Because what I notice nowadays, nobody's hearing anybody. Everybody's just talking, making noise. Everybody wants to be famous on Facebook and on social media, and where's time for anybody else? So, we really are at the brink of a paradigm shift in the human race. They say in 2026 we're going to go from Pisces to Aquarius in the constellations. And if you know anything about astrology, you know that it's rooted in Kabbalah, and you know that the 12 constellations are passing yearly in the sky. Well, the 12 tribes of Israel passed through the 40 years in the desert in the same order as the constellations. So the pattern above is the pattern below. And the pattern of just the simple wandering in the desert paralleled the pattern of the wandering of the stars in the Milky Way, and not just the Milky Way. Well, I don't know about that. Are all 12 constellations in this galaxy, or are they in other galaxies? I imagine they're only in this galaxy because it's a little too big. Once you get outside the galaxy, all the numbers change again. But really, God had a second chance. He rebuilt the world from the pieces of his own breaking it. And there's 7 breakings that we learn about in the Kabbalah that created the physical realm, that condensed the light into matter, right? They took something so precious and pure and allowed it to become so dense and thick that it doesn't even show you that it comes from the light. And that creates free choice. And that's why it's good to be human, because, when you recognize the gift of free choice, it makes it a little bit easier to be here. So God bless you all to believe in yourself, to believe in your second chance and your 20,000th chance, and to believe in everybody else's chance, and to know that if anybody closes the door, they just don't know what they're talking about. Because our God, the true God, the God of Israel, is full of chances and opportunities, and all we got to do is want him and want to come back, and the door will open. So God bless you all. Have a great Shabbat. We'll see you next week on all the platforms. We'll continue our daily classes on Patreon and Rabbi Nachman. We're crawling our way through this awesome mountain of wisdom, and I invite you to join us. Have a great Shabbat.